We were getting ready when I was in '82 on the USS America. We were getting ready for a 1990 May 1991 cruise. 5 months in the Med. They go, we're really cutting back on money. It's pretty much going to be a port visit every week. This is going to be a country club cruise, Carnival cruise before they even had Carnival cruises. And then, of course, August of '90, Iraq invades Kuwait, and then everything changed. And then that's kind of why I'm here. Talking about the Desert Storm. You know,
That
war.
well, I mean, interesting. I'm always interested in that time period because obviously I hear guys joke about flying up initial, still battling communisms and the Soviets, right? Versus the last 30 years of GWAT, more or less, plus or minus, completely different mindset. But that's the shifting point.
It
I'd be
is.
curious. Yeah, I guess maybe the lead up to the fall of the Soviet Union. I mean, my guess is in the squadron and the thought process is still big bad communism, and in that big block war of force on force. Well, like not even like I mean, you probably didn't know where Iraq was on the map. I wouldn't have known where Iraq was on the map in that time period or
Middle
any of
East
these time
wasn't in our,
periods.
it was all Europe. And being a Hornet guy, we could carry nukes and we didn't have much range. So anytime we did nuke planning, we were going to bomb Bulgaria. We were going to nuke Bulgaria because that's as far as we could go and back. So poor Bulgaria was going to get the brunt of nuclear weapons. Just to prove to the Soviet Union that we mean business, because we couldn't get it. The B-52s could get into. So, yeah, and then once the Soviets kind of were cracking, like, well, geez, what are we gonna do? We heard they're gonna start getting rid of the Navy nuclear program. We don't need to carry nukes anymore. Who are we gonna bomb? But then it all changed with the Iraq invading Kuwait, and so in August, I remember my skipper saying, as they were building up and President Bush was talking about the buildup, the word was, this is going to be an Air Force war. That's what they said. This is an Air Force war. The Navy's out of it. And we're like, oh, what do you mean? They're like, we've never put a carrier in the Gulf, Persian Gulf. It's the Strait of Hormuz. It's too close, too choke. But we would be suicidal to put a carrier in there to fight the Iraqis. We're sitting targets. It's nowhere to maneuver. The Red Sea, way too far for the Navy to tank and get to Iraq. We can't do it. We're out of it. This is an Air Force war. And we're like, you got to be kidding me. But as the planning was going on and they were moving up our schedule from May, the Country Club cruise in May, we were looking and they were saying we're probably going to be deploying in December. And as we were doing workups, they were saying, hey, guess what? Change of plan. We're going to use Air Force tankers. We were thinking about putting some boats in the Persian Gulf, and we can tank. We're going to tank over Saudi Arabia from the Red Sea, fly in Iraq, and tank on the way back. And so, like, hey, we're back in it. And so that was exciting for us. And remember, you're a young guy. I was thinking I was 28, and like, God, if there's a war, I want to be there. And
Yeah.
everybody was clawing to be there. I mean, they said there's going to be. I think we kind of found out there's going to be 6 carriers there, and we're like, luckily we were in that rotation, and so you kind of go, man, I feel lucky I'm going to go to war. But yeah, you wanted to, you're like, I don't want to be in Jackson. I want to be on a boat in the war. So we got selected, and fortunately, and so December 28th of '90, we headed out. And I had 2 kids at the time. One was 2, and the other was just born, 1 years old. Actually, I should say, barely one, not even one. So we headed out December 28th to the Red Sea. We got into the Red Sea 2 days prior to the war starting. So we got to see Desert Shield for 2 days. And being a JO, I got another ribbon I wanted another ribbon. That's like, oh, good, I get a Desert Shield because I had no ribbons. And then 2 days later, the war started. So